Allow myself to introduce myself.
My name is Arto, Oshten Arto.
My name is number 2. This is my Italian confidential secretary. Her name is Alata. Alata for China.
My name is Quinlan, and welcome to Melbourne Musos. Hey, Oshten Arto. Tonight, how's everybody tonight? All good? Oi, my name is Arto, Oshten Arto. Okay, tonight is a thing called Feats Do Your Duty. This is the first lesson for 2025, the first show back. I've been doing a few other things, but the first proper Melbourne Musos. All live. There it is. Edit it later with a couple of cameras. There you go. I hope you've had a good little Christmas and everything else. Oh, boy. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get straight into it. What I'm going to do today is just talk about the feats, mate, the feats. Oi, 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 oi. I'll put them up behind me here as the backdrop. Oi, down there. So what goes on is that getting your chops back, mate. The chops for 2025 if you've had a couple of weeks off and you're getting back into it. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you've been as busy as hell. Boo! And you're playing lots because of the holiday break, lots of gigs. But if you're the other way around and you're teaching, maybe you've just taken a couple of weeks off, done a couple of things, and you think, what's happened to your hands? I'm sorry. What's happened to your feet? Oh, I've been up on the couch, mate. Yeah, mate, watching the cricket, mate, the cricket. Oh, yeah. Moving right along. What we're going to do, I'm going to change to brushes. I haven't used brushes in a little while, and I do love them so. So the first thing is that one of the things you want to get going is a nice, solid foot foundation, you see. And the most common foot pattern is the 4 on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Most used thing in the world. That can be a marching beat, it can be akadaka, it could be jazz, it can be anything you want it to be. Any genre of music, you will find it there. So, and one of the great things about brushes is that there's not a lot of bounce and they're quiet and you can just get your chops back and you can swoosh them. Big swinging, mate, we're swinging. Bring the hi-hat in, still 4, both 4. Just get them working in unison. There you go. And then what goes on, that's your 4 on the floor. I'm going to come back to that in a little while. So that's what happens there. Then what happens is that you can take that 4 on the floor, and then if you put the humble hi-hat in between, and then, bring it to crotchets, you've got a thing called the 2 feel, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that kind of ting there. And if you go into cut time, oh, train beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Hear the train rolling down the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I've been posting prison down San Antonio. Manny Black, Johnny Cash, train beat. But if you do this, I prepared this hi-hat earlier. You get the doof beat, mate, the doof. And what happens there is most people think the doof is just the 4 on the floor bass drum. Yes. But it's But what about the ch, 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 ch? Two-feel. Two-feel comes from jazz, basically, and you've got things like da-dant, 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 da-da-da. The Dead Ant song. I'm not far from Seabrook Primary School, and about a decade ago there was a teacher there, and all the kids would come in, all the little poppets, and I'd be saying, this is the Pink Panther. This is the theme of the Pink Panther. You just do it like that. That's the Dead Ant song. Dead Ant, Dead Ant, Dead Ant, Dead Ant, Dead Ant, Dead Ant, Dead Ant. Poor ants. There you go. So what starts to go on there is the two-feel can morph into a 4 on the floor if you change the counting, you see. Now, normally when you're doing Pink Panther, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Same with standards like Satin Doll by the Duke Ellington, and they change into 4 on the floor during the B section or whatever it might be. You change them up. I explained that about 5 episodes ago, late last year. Anyway, there you go. And what goes on then is with the two-feel, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you morph it into quavers, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all of a sudden you're back to 4 on the floor, but you got the ch, 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 ch. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits, there you go. Now when you're doing the Latin bass drum, I'm going to go back to brushes now. And what happens is that when you have the two-feel, I've already done the train beat. So each one of these Oshten Artos.
My name is Arto. Oshten Arto.
Oh, lame. Anyway, there you go. Sorry, pardon me. So what goes on is that when you're actually doing the two-feel, like, I have this loose theory that no matter what tempo you play and whatever rhythm you play, there is a song out there with that in there, and I haven't really been proven too much wrong. And I'm suddenly thinking this is a Zydeco kind of thing, a la Paul Simon, Steve Gadd, Graceland album. But what I really wanted to do is show you a thing called the Latin bass drum, which is sort of derived from the two-feel because it's inherently the kind of very similar. Now what happens is when you're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's your two-feel. But what happens if you add an extra 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3? So you get this sort of up-pumping. Other people call it the samba bass drum. The jungle, watch out for the tree. There you go. Or I Dream of Jeannie. Thank you very much. There you go. That's the Latin bass drum. There it is there, you see, and you get it all working. There it is. You seeing it up there? Good. Get it? Got it? Good. There you go. That's the Latin bass drum. Now, when you're doing these kinds of things, the humble hi-hat is also one of your feats, and the 2 and 4 is all important, okay? So if you're going to go into jazz, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I had to grade this into a book, like with my drum set manuals, it's been around for a while now, okay? what happens is this is something that starts to come in the middle of grade 1. Not that, just that. 1, 2, 3, 4 with the 2 feel. Latin beats and so on. And the Latin bass drum gets introduced, you see. And then when you bring that up, now, what happens is I've brought back the 4 on the floor, but now I'm adding the hi-hat 2 and 4. I wouldn't do that at the beginning. I bring up 4, if I'm going to talk books, I bring up the 4 on the floor at preliminary grade. It's one of the first things you want to do with your foots. Sorry, I'm butchering the language here. But when you actually bring in the hi-hat on 2 and 4, like bum, you start to get that hot jazz club sound. And if anybody watches any of those wonderful, brilliant Montreux Jazz Festival things, DVDs, I've got quite a few up there. The intro to Montreux Jazz Festival DVD is always the and that harks back to a Genie Krupa. And there's that kind of thing. And then what happens is also the aforementioned 2 feel, you start to get this. Let there be drums, Sandy Nelson. I could do that all day. It's just a wonderful thing. Just lay on the groove. I know I do other things and do little concoctions with my triggers, which are not on today. This is just straight up, and that is wonderful. But every now and again, I should say every now and again, nearly all the time, seeing I teach all week, lay on the groove. Then what happens, moving right along, you've got your jazz feel by adding the hi-hat 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a little thing there, you see it up there, called the rocking motion. And it's heel on 1, toe on 2. Heel, toe, heel, toe. People call it the heel toe method. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heel, toe, heel, toe. Old H, Harold Ripper, my old teacher, had a little book called The Heel-Toe Method. It's rather than a book, it's more like the old-fashioned booklets, you know. Remember all the Joel Rothman books? You just pump them out. He's got about 80 of them, but they're little tiny booklets. Not really teaching books, they're more like workbooks that the teacher would get and then foist upon their unsuspecting poppets. And there you go. So the 2 feel, heel, toe, heel, toe. And what that gives you is a kind of a solid base, a solid foundation, because you could get, if I just did this is like a party trick, I suppose, with me now, but if I go, means nothing. It's nothing. But if I do this, shave and a haircut. Oh, there you go. And it brings relevance to whatever you want to do, you see. That becomes quite important to do, laying down the foundation, laying down the groove. So, say a soloist in a jazz band can go out there, but you're talking about the rhythm section really laying it down. It's just wonderful stuff. I had a predilection for jazz drummers late last year, and this year I'm getting back into my ECM records. Who remembers ECM with Manfred Eicher and all that sort of stuff? One of my favourite drummers is Jack DeJohnette and all that. But I was remembering Dave Holland. What a solid jazz, wonderful person and bass player. And I mentioned last year I rode at him once back in 1980, long time ago. But what a solid bass player. And from that, all the freedom that the soloist could have with such a solid foundation, such as him. And there you go. Now, while we're talking about jazz, you can't really go past the waltz, which is right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. So. Now, an interesting thing with that, it's right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. And it can be a bit hokey-pokey kind of, sort of thing. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Elvin Jones, my favourite thing, but it can be a little bit twee sometimes if it's just a straight, kind of old-fashioned waltz for ballroom dancing and stuff like that. But one of the little nuances with waltzes is the fact that you had dear Neil Peart from Rush use that particular Oshten Arto for one of his grand solos, Der Trommler, the drummer in German. And when you actually look at him on video, he's doing it the other way around because he's got an electronic trigger pedal. So boom, chick, chick, which for us mere mortals is right, left, left. He was doing it left, right, right. So it's like a... But the bass drum was the left and the hi-hat. It's like this. I've got this. I've got the remote, but that's on the right-hand side. So it'll be like a... He was doing that, you see, the other way around. Wonderful stuff. Anyway, there you go there. And you've got all the different kinds of waltzes, but they're all underpinned by right, left, left, right, left, left. Oh, pardon me. Come on, foot. Right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. Now, very quickly, if, depending on the pressure I put on the hi-hat and my little jingle jangle, the tambourine here, which I got from Mr. John Henry Bonham. Any picture you see of John Bonham, there's the tambourine attached, There's one, Jimmy. Thanks, Bonzo. There you go. And what happens is just to be heard. But the thing is, you've got a threshold, because if I do it softly, they don't jingle jangle. You see, there's that. If I play a little bit harder, they start to come in. If I start to thump with my heel up a little bit, bang, you get the full schmozzle there. Schmozzle? Is that the right term? But this is something about waltzes. If I sort of go right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, like that, I'll get the normal waltz, right? So on. But if I have it all heels down, put my heel down on the pedal, I get this. So it's a splash hat. There it is. I better get a wriggle on. Oh, I'm nearly there. Now, what happens? I'm going to push a little bit because I want to get a few in. I've got a lot in already, so there you go. All right, so what tonight's show is all about...
My name is Arto, Oshten Arto.
Which is a repeated musical phrase. It doesn't come from drums, it comes from piano. So you might have do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and then the melody with the right hand. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. There's your Oshten Arto. There you go. All right. Now what we're doing, I'm going to go back to the brushes, and I'm going to go back to the Latin bass drum, you see. And... There it is there, which I explained earlier. Now, one of the things that I had to get into fairly quickly back in the day, being the old Zappa nut that I am, is when Zappa went reggae. And I went, I haven't really played reggae before. We're talking like early 90s when the band started up, or the bands, plural. And I came up with this thing, at least for me, is that if I did a Latin bass drum, but I took out the and one. So normally it would be 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. But reggae, even when you're listening to Stuart Copeland with the Police, it's off the 1, and inherently you'll hear the bass drum either on 2 and 4. Giant steps are what we take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope my legs don't break. Can be a bit off-putting if you're not used to it. And then usually with your reggae, it's on a 3. So I started to loosely call this the reggae bass drum, at least for me. So it was like 1, 2, and 3, 4. Pardon me. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 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 Or just put in 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. There it is there. Now, a little trick with this is if you do want to get a bit swingy, one, two, three. It's a double paradiddle with the left-hand start. Left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right. Whoa, there you go. Sometimes you can play a crash, like I did then with the ride, but with no bass drum in it. There you go. Dance to that. And once I started doing that, I went, is this a little scratching of the surface of some of the drumming science that one Vinnie Colaiuta did in the late 70s with Zappa? Joe's Garage and all that. I said, how does he do all that? How does he do that? Oh my Lord. I thought Terry Bozzio was a god, that kind of thing. But then Vinnie comes along and it's like, ooh, there you go. All right. I'm going to get a wriggle on now. Oh, I'm pretty much already there. And there's that. Now, if I head over, there's what I loosely call a reggae bass drum. Now, one of the most popular beats in the world is the calypso. Had it with the bass drum. Hi-hat 2 and 4. On the hi-hat, and the inherent opening. Now, if you're looking at the hi-hat on the screen there, can you tell that my foot is barely moving? It's almost like I'm just lifting a toe. And that, my friends, in Africa is called the Sukkots rhythm. Now, there's plenty more Oshten Arto. I'm going to get a wriggle on now and wrap it up. But I had a show many years ago called Practical and Possible Oshten Artos in a time when Terry Bozzio was going crazy and it seemed to be Oshten Arto City and all that. And I was going, everyone's trying to do these crazy Oshten Artos in 5/8 and 5/4 and 7s, and then Virgil Donati would come up and go and then do everything over the top. And I said, yeah, but you still need the chicken dance, mate. That's the song that pays, the bickies, that kind of thing. And so there's the practicals. Tonight is the practicals. The one thing I haven't done is the John Bonham practical. Hi-hat all the time and pa-pa, do-do-do-do. And then if you've got a double kick, which John Bonham only ever used really once, straddle the left side pedal, do that. So there's Oshten Arto. My name, Quinlan. And this is Melbourne Musos. Oh, I'm loving and leaving you. Wow, thank you for watching. Wow, and wow, and wow. Oshten Arto.
My name is
Oshten Arto.
Oshten Arto.
And now for a nice glass.
My name is Arto. Oshten Arto.
My name is number 2. This is my Italian confidential secretary. Her name is Alata. Alata for China.